I'm gonna tell you the truth, you see? After watching today's video, maybe you're gonna feel a little bit depressed. I'm not gonna tell a lie, but it's a good place to start. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Matcha with Mo. And guys, alright, I'm just gonna from now, you see? By the time the video you're done, if you watch the entire thing to the end, maybe at the end you're not gonna feel so good. Maybe you're gonna feel a little bit depressed. Some of you will feel probably super motivated, but others, you're not gonna feel too good, because when I went through this process at the end, I never feel so nice, and even up till now I don't really feel too nice, but I know where I want to go and I know where I'm headed, and that is the beauty of the reason why you should continue to watch today's video, and you should actually do the activities that I'm going to be discussing in today's video. So for all the persons who are coming back, thank you for coming back, and for all the new persons, welcome to my space. I am Monique. This is Matcha with Mo, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is we are going to be discussing budgeting, and I'm going to take you through the actual budget template that I have on my website, which you can find in the description. You can download below. So guys, what I want you to do is download the template from now, like go on down there, go and download it, and then come right back to this video and we will go through in real time. So if you're interested in learning how to budget and to just budget all your nice little monies them from all over the place, then you can keep on watching. This is Matcha with Mo. All right guys, let's start. So in my cup today I have, let me see, I have matcha shaved ice, and because of the type of video that I'm doing, I sneak a little bit of white wine in there, because trust me, I'm gonna need the alcohol. So it's matcha shaved ice. It has some azuki beans. So this is some Japanese beans right there. They're so yummy. They're if you're from Jamaica and you eat rice and peas, you see the kidney beans, it is very similar to the kidney beans, but we eat it in a sweet form. Like in Japan, it kind of take me for a loop, right? Because I've been eating things that are otherwise savory back in Jamaica as a sweet here in Japan, and trust me, I'm loving it. So here I have my azuki bean, my matcha shaved ice, some milk in there, and a little sneaky bit of white wine. So because the time is hot, and plus me need a little alcohol, because trust me, you're gonna need a strong one if you go through the video. Let's get started. So I have on my website moniquefarquharson.com your personal budget, and this budget is to help or assist you to manage your finances on a monthly basis, right? Now you can start whenever you want to start, but usually what we do is anytime that you know that there is a big amount of income that is going to be coming into your account, and you will just budget for the rest of the period until that next deposit is made. And for most persons, you work a regular 9 to 5, so at the end of the month you would have you know, like your money is coming into your account, your income from your job coming into your account, and then you would budget for the next month until your next deposit of income, right? So in the last video we discussed the importance of budgeting, so now I'm going to be going through how exactly you can use my template in order to manage your finances. So when you open the template, the first thing that you see is a summary sheet. Now this summary sheet, this summarizes everything for the entire year. So over on the left you see a donut, that's a chart which says actual summary. So that is how your monies are divided into the different expenses that you have. or whatever deductions that are made. Then in the center you have the summary, which has your total income the year to date, so how much money you've gotten from your income streams for the entire year. Your total expenses, that is all the monies that you have spent, what you actually put in the people them chart, cause you might, guys, the next thing you know, try to put the right figures. Don't bother something there, hide and cheat and what you call it there. You buy a little cake last week, you never bother put the cake money in there. Okay? So that is all your total expenses that you have spent for the year. Then you have total investments. So if you are a person that invests in different things, you put all the monies that you've invested, your total savings, and then your cash balance. The cash balance, that's free cash. That is cash that did not go towards anything. So you did not invest it, you didn't save it, and you didn't spend it. So it's just there. And then over on the next side now you have a bar chart that is showing your actual versus your budgeted. So this is the amount of monies that you actually spent or you actually deducted from your income in comparison to what you estimated that you would have what you call it, deducted from your income, right? So that is your summary sheet. The next sheet is called your concise budget, and this is where the information from your summary sheet is taken from. So this is just giving you a very quick synopsis of all your monthly expenses. Then you have the budget for the year. This is a very detailed, so this is all of the monies that you have spent in all the various categories that you have spent it, and all the income sources that you have for the entire year. This is a sheet that you don't touch this sheet. This is just to give you the year's view, so you just leave this one alone. Now the next big sheet is your goals sheet. Now this sheet is not connected to any other sheet, so this sheet is just your personal sheet that you pretty much have total control over. It has no formulas that are connected anywhere else in the workbook. So on this sheet you have your personal goals. So what you can do in the goals section is you write down all the goals that you have. It could be for the year, it could be for the next few years or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You have control over whatever goals that you put on this sheet. And then you write the amount that this goal will cost. So say for example you wanted to buy a car, and the car is gonna cost you say 5 million Jamaican dollars. Then you put your 5 million there, and then you put the amount of money that you are contributing towards that goal on a monthly basis, or towards achieving that goal on a monthly basis, right? So as I said, this sheet is just your goal sheet. You can do whatever you want to do with that sheet. It doesn't really matter. Now let us get into the meat of the matter, and these are the sheets that you are going to be using. So these are the sheets that are the most important for you, and that is the monthly sheets, so from January all the way to December. So let us get into the month of January, and then we are going to be updating this very empty sheet here. So in this section, which is called quick notes, I have just a few notes that tells you what each of the things are mean, the big headings, what they mean. So first you have monthly income. So that is your actual income from your income streams. So you might have multiple income streams. So for example, a regular person that works a 9-to-5 job, your job would be your first income stream. Then say for example you're doing a little thing on the side, then that is your second income stream, and then maybe you're getting some monies elsewhere, and that would be your third income stream. So you put the amount of money that you get on a monthly basis, or for the month of January, in this little section here called monthly income. The next thing is you have your monthly expenses. So this is a breakdown of everything that you spend money on. So these are all your expenses. So what I've done here is I have broken it into different groups, and I've also added in this section your savings, your saving towards your goals, and your investments, right? Even though you would not necessarily call those expenses, but they're in this little table here because I want to track all your deductions, right? Now, your personal savings, this is money that you're just saving, for whatever reason it is. I have added here saving towards your goals. So when you decide that okay, you have X amount of goals for the year, then you can say okay, for the month of January, I'm going to be saving say 10,000 Jamaican dollars towards my goal, and then in your goal sheet, you can put down that $10,000 and you can put it in whatever category, whatever goal that you are contributing that money to, right? Now the next one is your investment. So say for example you invest in like the stock market, for example, then you can say okay, this month I'm going to be contributing about 50,000, 100,000 Jamaican dollars towards the stock market. And then now you have the rest of your monthly expenses. So I've broken them into the categories called home, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, debt, and other. Now you can change whichever one of the names that's here that might not be relevant to you, and you probably have something a little bit more relevant, so you have full control over changing that. So if you don't pay a mortgage at all, you can just write rent, or you can just leave rent or mortgage. Or if you don't have maintenance costs but you have another type of housing costs, whatever it is, say for example parking, so you can change this from maintenance to parking. You have full control over that. It doesn't really matter. And then over here you have the various categories. So in other, say for example you have another category that is a little bit more relevant, so instead of calling it other, you can change the name of that category, and that is pretty much it. The next section here is called the due date. So this is the date that you intend to spend this money, or you intend for this money to be deducted from your account. Now budgeted amount, this is the most important column, because this is the column where you're going to put in the amount of money that you think or that you estimate that you are going to spend towards this particular expense. So for example, in the budgeted amount for personal savings, say for the month of January you intend to save 10,000 Jamaican dollars. So you're going to put your 10,000 there, and if you're not from Jamaica, you can put whatever currency that you have. So if it's 100 US dollars, you do that. If it's 100 pounds, you do that. It doesn't really matter. So we're just using Jamaican dollars for context. Now that's what you're gonna save towards your personal savings, and then you have other expenses that may be fixed, so they don't change over time. So this is not an estimate, this is what you know that you're going to spend. So for example, if you rent an apartment and the apartment costs 50,000 Jamaican dollars, you would just put down your 50,000 Jamaican dollars there, and you know that that is what you're going to actually spend. And you know that when it is the month of January, the money that's going to be deducted from your account will be on the 31st of January 2020, for example, right? Or 2021, it really doesn't matter. And then maintenance costs, that could also be fixed. So whatever fixed expenses, you just put them down there, and then whatever the amount for your expenses, you put in each category. So how much you think that you're going to spend towards electricity. Electricity is a variable cost, so you can probably look at your past electricity bills and just see an average of the amount that you spend on a monthly basis. So what I would advise you to do is you can get like some of your, let me see, bills for the last 3 to 6 months, and if you have them, if you don't, that's also fine, but you probably, in your head, the amount of money that you normally spend towards these things. So you get those bills for the last 3 to 6 months, and you see the average amount that you spend. So say for example, on average you spend $5,000 on electricity, you can put down $5,000 for gas. For your gas bill, you probably spend on average $3,000. For your cell phone, you spend on average $2,000 for the month. For water, probably $3,000. Internet, probably about $8,000. Things like that. So you just write down how much you estimate that you're going to be spending. and then you'd put that down for all of your categories. So like food, for groceries, maybe, you know, if you live alone, you're spending like a 25,000. If you have kids, you're probably spending a little bit more, so you probably put like say $30,000 for the month, you know, things like that. And then we continue along those lines. So the next thing that you're gonna do is you are going to go over to your actual. Now this is something that you can do throughout the entire month. So every time that, you know, you have paid off the amount for a particular expense, you can come back to your budget and you update it, right? So what is the actual? The actual is the amount of money that you actually spend. So this is the exact amount of money that went towards the particular expenses that you had for the month. This money can be more, less than or equal to the amount that you have budgeted, right? So now, say for example, at the end of the month for your rent or mortgage, you spent your 50,000 because that is a fixed expense and that is what you've always been spending. Now for electricity, you had budgeted 5,000, but this month you did not use as much electricity, so it came to about 3,250, right? Now for your gas, you spent probably 2,900, but you had budgeted 3,000. For your cell phone, something probably happened and your cell phone bill went up to about 4,500, but you had only budgeted 2,000 for it. The same thing for your water. You probably didn't, you know, use as much water this month, so it went down to about 3,000. For your groceries, you probably spent a little bit more than the 30. You probably went to a 32,300 or something. And then for eating out, you didn't budget for eating out. You did not plan to eat out this month, but then your best friend that you haven't seen since 19 how long came and they were like, oh my gosh, we have to go somewhere for go eat some food and all these things, and then you spent probably a little $6,000 or something. You went to this fancy restaurant and then you wanted to floss and brush and all of these things because you haven't seen your friend for a long time and you spent a little bit of money. So now that is your actual amount, right? So the next thing that is important now is what you're going to do is you're going to look over to the section called difference. Now this section is a very important section because in this section you are going to see the difference in what you budgeted and what you actually spent, right? So what I've done is I have ensured that I use the color code. Now for the savings and investment section, the color code is the opposite, meaning if for example you budgeted that you wanted to save $10,000, but you did not save 10,000, you saved 2,000 out of that 10,000, your difference is going to be in the color red, because that simply means you saved less than you intended to, which is not necessarily a good thing, right? Now, if you saved more than you intended to, for example, you budgeted that you wanted to save 10,000 and instead you saved 15, then I put that in green. And that means you're doing quite well. You saved 5,000 more than you had budgeted to save, right? But for the rest of the sheet now, the color code is just a little bit different. Red means it is trouble and you have spent more than you intended to spend. For example, here when your friend came and you went out and you bruff and you eat out and you behave like you're rich when you really know, so you're not supposed to behave like that, and you go spend the 6,000 away, never really budget for, you never have it, that is in big red, because that means that you're wrong. You're wrong. You shouldn't go out to the people. You should not have spent that amount of money because you did not budget for it, right? So yes guys, you filled out your budgeted amount, you filled out your actual, you filled out, and then you're seeing the difference. So throughout the month, what you can do is you look at the thing down at the bottom called running balance. So the running balance, right? This is an indicator, guys, to tell you that, hey, this is the amount of money that you have left, right? Now you see, if your running balance go into the negative, that simply means you're spending money that you don't have, or you are spending over the threshold of your income. So maybe you have savings, say for example in your account, but you're spending much more than your income. So you don't want your running balance to be negative at any time, because that simply means you are spending way too much. You're spending more money than you actually have, right? So it's a very dangerous thing to be doing. So your running balance is essentially your income less your savings, and then less all of your expenses. So any amount of money that is in your running balance that is negative, that means you have gone way over the threshold of your income, and you are overspending like really badly. So the next thing that I want to show you now is, as soon as you have done all of that, right, you have this big button that is called refresh. You're gonna press that button, and when you press this refresh button, what this button is going to do is it is going to refresh the charts that are in your sheet. So in these charts now, you are going to be seeing this pie chart here. This is a sum of actual. So this is basically a breakdown of where your money is going. So you're seeing a percentage going to, like, how much percent is going towards your savings, how much percent is going towards food, how much percent is going towards home, how much percent is going towards utilities. So now you're going to be seeing the balance of, you know, how you're spending your money. And then with this chart, you can decide whether you know, there's too much money going towards a particular category, and you have control over that for the next month, right? Now this other chart over here is called actual versus budgeted. This is a bar chart, so it's very similar to the chart at the front of the page in your summary sheet. And this chart is simply showing you how much money you budgeted and how much money you actually spent towards each of the various categories, right? The only one that ideally should be, where you call it there, the actual should be much more than the budgeted, is your savings column. Now if it is your home, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, other, or debt, that means you probably need to revisit your spending habit, right? Because you are either one, under budgeting, meaning that you don't really have an understanding, a good understanding or a good grasp then on the amount of money that really and truly are going towards these things. So you're under budgeting, or you are just overspending. So say for example, things like food. Maybe you just have spent too much money on food. Maybe you just name too much. And you need to understand that maybe, you know, for the rest of the month, instead of buying lobster, you probably just buy little shrimp. You understand? Because the lobster price a little bit too high for you. So your body and your budget need and your palate need to get with your account. So, you know, you're living above your means. You understand? So if you have a bougie belly, you need to kind of get bougie money to kind of finance the bougie belly. And if you don't have the bougie financing, or you don't have the bougie money to finance the bougie belly, then you need to get a less bougie belly. You get what I'm saying? So that is pretty much how this chart or this budget works, right? Now guys, hear me out. You see, we need to start taking budgeting very seriously. And with this template, you know, on a monthly basis, your come is like, you know, so, all right, you make, say for example, you make $100,000 per month, right? And you rent a little place, and you want to save little money and all them little stuff there. you have to understand the position that you are in and the amount of money that you can actually save to live a very decent lifestyle. And some of the times, guys, we're not really dead there yet. It's like we have a goal and we know, say, okay, this is how I want to live, but this is what I have. And you see, if at this you want to live and at this what you have to go meet somewhere in the middle, and that means you maybe need to go find a little side hustle or something, right? Because you can't the right here, so and I live like the up here, so and then it's like at the end of the month you stress out and you don't know why you don't know why you can't afford certain things and whatever, and you blame everybody but yourself, because guess what, you just not budget and you don't understand, say yes you're there and yes you try live. You understand? So saying this to say, guys, budgeting is very important, right? And you need to understand your financial position. And if you realize that you want to be here and you're here currently, you have control now because you have this new knowledge. You understand your position and you know what you need to do in order to move from here to here. And moving from here to here, it might not be easy, but it can be done, right? And one way is you can probably start thinking about how you can increase your source of income. So you might have just one income source, and in 2020, 2021, whatever, guys, it's time for us to increase the amount of income sources that we legally have, right? And increasing your income sources could be from just and everybody can start a business and everybody can do that, but everybody can learn something. So you can probably start learning how to invest, because I think the thing is, guys, a lot of the times, you know, we want to increase our source of income, and the first thing that a lot of persons think about is to start a business. That's not everybody's cup of tea, and not everybody can, you know, manage a whole business, because that takes, and some of the times, you know, just starting a business takes a lot of money. You understand? So maybe starting a business is not the best option for everyone. So what you need to do is do a soul search, look within yourself, and you see different ways and means that you can earn extra income without having to put up a lot of capital, right? So the next video that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to probably go into how, you know, we can earn extra income in 2020, different ways and means that we can do that, and not necessarily by just starting a business, because as I mentioned before, starting a business is not necessarily the best thing for everyone. And also it depends, and you know, it depends on like the type of business and that kind of thing, because just because Keisha can sell here and she really good with selling here, and Keisha make a killing a sell here, that no means that Betty can come and make a killing a sell here too. And then Betty they struggle a sell the here and I lose money because she are probably, you know, invest in a marketing and this, and I just now work. And instead it's like Betty she feel like so she go get another source of income, but it's another big source of liability right there. So everybody will never be a Keisha. You understand? Keisha know how to sell here, so what Betty need to do is know what she can do. And it does not necessarily mean say I sell Betty I go sell the here. You understand? Alright, guys, so I hope this budget assists and helps you in managing your finances on a monthly basis. And if you have any questions, please comment them below. And as I mentioned before, guys, the budget, it is on my website, moniquefarquharson.com. Just go over to my website, download the budget, you come back to this video and we go, you know, you just go through it. If there are things that you don't understand or you are just not very clear on, you can always send an email, you know, just fill out a little contact form on the bottom of my website. You can also leave a comment in the comment section and I will do my very best to respond. And guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Matcha with Mo. And that is just to show you a more personal side of me. And then if you want, you know, to build websites and that kind of thing, you go over to my other Instagram page, which is Monique Farks, and you can question me about anything graphic design related, website design related, and that is the platform for that. And guys, for everything matcha related, then you can go over to my business page, Petite Squares. So let me drink my matcha, hold on. me tell you what the place hot because they my something all melt already, Jesus. But that have a buzz. That have a buzz, guys. It melt out and it nice same way, Lord Jesus. Anyway. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. So this was a matcha with Mo, and if you have any questions, please leave them below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.